What's up? What's up? What's up, Disrupt Nation? My name's Tony Delgado, and today we have a special guest. Man, this one's incredible. This is one for the history books. The one and only Mr. Grant Cardone, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here, Grant. I can't hear you. Let's make sure that we got the audio all connected. Izzy, how we doing with audio?
There in the audio.
How about now?
There we go.
Grant Cardone, Pincho Loco.
Oh man, all the way from Puerto Rico. Grant, thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. So excited to be on your show. So excited to be on Disrupt Recession Proof with Tony Delgado.
Hey man, thank you so much for being here, man. So we're talking about being recession proof. And I remember when the recession first hit and you really doubled down, right? A lot of people pulled back and you doubled down. So let's talk about a little bit about real estate, about investing, about preparing for the winter that we all know is coming, right? Here at Latino Wall Street, we have investor community of over 100,000 Latino investors from all around the world.
Wow.
And
Great job building that base of people and educating.
Thank you, my brother. And our main focus is using the stock market and cryptocurrency and those financial instruments to grow generational wealth, right? But my first question for you is, why should Latinos be investing in real estate and looking at that as another vehicle to grow wealth?
Well, it's what the wealthy have been doing for 1,000 years. Like, let's face it, like, I got Mark Zuckerberg right here in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, buying real estate here. We got the guy that just left WeWorks buying real estate here. These guys that have digital assets, even some crypto guys here are buying real assets. Real assets appreciate over long periods of time. They're real. You get depreciation, you get leverage, you get cash flow, you get appreciation. And with inflation coming, Tony, as you know, the first beneficiary of inflation is real assets, real property.
Well, yeah, Bill Gates was buying up all the farmland and all land all throughout the United States, right?
Yeah, he's the largest farm owner in the country today. Warren Buffett said 10 years ago, if he could buy 10,000 homes, he would. Blackstone, and if you look at the groups that own I'm talking about these are $1 trillion companies, by the way. I'm talking about these are not billionaires. Let me just lay it out like this. There's the lower class, there's the middle class, there's the upper middle class, there's the rich, there's the wealthy, there's the super wealthy, and then it goes to another level. And what I'm buying today is real property, real assets that will be sold to the ultra super wealthy institutions. These are $1 trillion companies that we will sell these kind of assets to. They're looking for cash flow. They're looking for leverage. They're looking for real property, and they're looking for protection against inflation. And the way the little guy benefits, I'm an everyday little guy. Started as a little guy. I was a non-accredited investor. We're allowing non-accredited investors now to make the most complex investment in the world, which is real estate. Crypto is very easy to purchase. ETFs are easy to purchase. For $1, you can get an ETF or a mutual fund. You can get a fractional share in the stock market, as you know. That's a $260 million deal right here. There's $250 million, Tony. I keep losing your face, man. You look so good. I got to see you. But this deal.
Yeah. Come on, Izzy. Put us back both on the screen here. So I can...
Man, you don't need me full screen, man. This deal is $250 million.
Wow.
Your audience, I created a way for the everyday person, the everyday family in America to invest in trophy real estate. Very complex to buy that. Even to buy a house is complicated, right? So I've made it easy for people with only $1,000, $2,500, $5,000, $10,000 to be my partner in a $250 million real estate transaction with cash flow the first month, with leverage. Leverage means I use debt to buy 4 times the asset value. Okay. The wealthy use debt. Okay. Most people in America don't use debt correctly. They use it to buy stuff, to consume food, housing. Housing is a consumption. Buying a house is actually not an asset. The SEC doesn't even report an asset as your net worth. It doesn't report your home as an asset to add to your net worth. Net worth is created through companies, trademarks, and real property that produces cash flow. So we just launched this Friday. We had $42 million without running an ad, $42 million committed to that asset from everyday people, 1,000, 2,500, 3,000, 5,000, 26,000, 16,000 to invest in a trophy asset in Fort Lauderdale, AAA location, AAA amenities, cash flow, institutional quality asset. You get the depreciation, the cash flow, and the upside appreciation.
Yeah, and I saw the property, the new project. It's beautiful, and this is already built. There's already people living there, and it's already cash flowing.
We're at 97% occupied, 92% walk score, which means you can walk out of your house, out of your apartment. Within a block and a half, you're at 30 restaurants in Fort Lauderdale. If you've ever been to Fort Lauderdale, you pass this location. and you can get in a kayak. I'm sure she sent you the images, but you literally can go down from the second floor to the level. We're on the water. You can rent a kayak and literally take the kayak out to the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, and there's been a gold rush on real estate in Florida since the pandemic, right? Everybody wants to get out of New York. New York's a hellhole.
Yeah, probably 15% of our renter base is New York, New Jersey. Probably another 10% is California. We're getting bombed in Florida. We have more migration into the state of Florida this year from the state of California, as far as you can go across the United States, than ever in the history of the state of Florida and Miami.
And so let's talk a little bit about impact, right? Like you mentioned, anyone can get into this investment. You want to make this investment available for the normal people, right? Non-accredited investors. How were you able to do that? How were you able to open the fund up? I know usually you have to have a net worth of over 1 to 2 million to get into these types of deals. How were you able to open that up? And what does a normal investor get if they put in 10,000, 50,000, et cetera?
So let me tell you what the first reason is. Your big question is, how do you do it and why do you do it? Okay. My lawyers told me not to do it. They said, don't, it's not worth it. It's very expensive to get a fund like this approved. So it took 9 months to get it approved. The SEC investigates everything about the individual that puts one of these together. It cost about $300,000 to do it. I don't pass that cost on to the investor, by the way. It took 9 months to get it approved. We're approved in 48 states. We're waiting for Florida and Washington to stamp it. They will. 1,000% they will approve it. And the reason I did it is because I was non-accredited before I was accredited. Everybody starts the same way. I started with nothing. My mom never got a shot at one of these deals. And when my lawyers told me not to do it, I'm like, guys, I'm going to do this. Okay, I have a huge base of people. I got 13 million people that follow me online. 98% of them are not accredited. 98% of them are never going to get a chance to create real wealth in this country. This country is a rigged game. This many people control all the assets in this country. And I'm not exaggerating. It's that many people in comparison to the number of people. This many people control all the assets. Everybody else, the rest of us are left, we get the leftovers. And I promised my mom when I was 16 years old, I said, one day I'm going to get myself in a position to help a lot of people. And I'm not going to help the wealthy. So like, Tony, you probably know that I could go to Goldman Sachs or a Blackstone, one of these big groups, KKR. These are big New York Life. These are mega $100 billion companies. And they would write a check and become my partner on this deal. And I refused to do that so that I could open this up to everyday people, people that follow me. The people that need this the most are the little guys, not the big guys. The big guys already got theirs. And the crazy thing is Americans keep feeding, you guys keep feeding the very people that marginalize your communities. The Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citibank, City National, go down the list, man. You guys work your ass off, get some money, and then you bring it to the institution who does nothing except advertise that they're helping out. All they do is advertise that they're helping you, but they don't. They never help you. You can't get your money from them. You can't get a loan from them. They don't pay you anything. $1,000 sitting at Bank of America today pays $12 a year.
And then you got inflation on top of that, right? Your money's worth less a year later, especially now.
They probably charge you $75 for the checking. They charge you every time you ATM the thing. Dude, it's a scam. The whole thing's a scam. And including that same group wants to convince you to go buy a house and tells you it's a fucking American dream. It ain't a dream. It's a trap. So they give you Visa cards, MasterCards, they'll give you all the cards for free. It's a casino, Tony. It's like my mom told me, we walked into a casino once and she says, son, whatever they offer you here, don't take it. They're not here for you. Okay. Casinos are built on the backs of the little guy. Banks are built on the backs of middle class and lower class Americans. Banks are not built on the backs of the wealthy. They're built to make the wealthy wealthier. And so this has never been done without exaggeration in the history of finance, where somebody bought $250 million asset. When I sell this, I'll sell this for $500 million, $500 million. This is a chance for an everyday family to take $1,000, $1,000 piece. This is garbage. Okay. The whole thing's a big lie. Look, man, it says in God we trust. God ain't got nothing to do with this. Nothing, zero to do with this.
Yeah.
There's all kind of lies here. So what I do with my paper, I trade time for paper, and I take the paper and trade it for a building. Because I know the building is going to be worth more than the paper in the next 10 or 15 years. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to give my nieces, my sister, my employees the same chance at creating wealth that I have, because I put myself in a position to buy wealthy assets that the wealthy institutions will buy from me later. So when I go to sell this, Tony, I'm not going to sell it to you. I'm going to sell it to Vanguard or Blackstone. And they'll pay all the money. They always have money, bro. Always. They're never broke. They never don't have money, and they can always pay a premium. So this is a chance for the little guy at $1,000 increments to convert their paper to real assets, get cash flow and appreciation, and use the power of my ability to acquire an asset and the debt. So the return you guys can expect, best case is infinite return. How do I get an infinite return? You put $1,000 in, I wait 5 years, I refinance a property, send you back your $1,000 and keep you on as an investor. You now have your position with no money and you still get a return.
So you end up owning a piece of the property even after you get your return on your investment.
Yeah, that's if we can pull that off. So if I can do it, I've done it before. I've done it 13 times. So we own 42 properties right now, 12,000 units. When time matures, as rents go up in this building, and they will, rents have gone up for the last 5 decades since World War II. As rents go up, the value of the property also goes up. It's not like a house. A house goes up if the neighborhood goes up. These apartments, all I buy is apartments. As the apartments go, the rent goes up, the value of the property goes up. As the value of the property goes up, every 5 to 7 years, we refinance the property based on the higher value, return the capital to the investor. So I'm putting $88 million down on this deal of my money. I close the deal, then I let investors come back in and get part of this. I don't charge a fee to do that. You come in at the same price I came in at. Why am I doing this? Because I'm going to run for president of the United States.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Grant Cardone for president.
I basically created a fund where my goal is over the next 5 to 10 years, create 10 million investors that will all become voters because I took care of them for the last 10 years.
So let's talk a little bit about that mindset shift. We had Elena on a couple of weeks ago, and she was speaking about how
Elena was on, man.
Yeah. My wife interviewed her. Okay. And she was talking about like passing thresholds, right? And going from the millies to the billies, right? That's a big threshold to pass. How does your mindset have to shift for you to pass from the $1 million, that 7-figure mark, to now going into billions of dollars of assets under management?
So look, everybody needs to understand I started with nothing. Like I was $40,000 in debt. I was 25 years old, just came out of treatment center for a drug problem. And my life was miserable, dude. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. I hated myself. I was disgusted with myself. And I knew I'd let my family down. And most importantly, I'd let myself down. And this was 37 years ago. And I'm like, I got to get my life together. And I did get my life together. And then I got my finances together. And then I started figuring out how to help other people. So I've been doing that now for 37 years, like slowly paying the price. I didn't buy the watches. I didn't invest in all the stuff you're talking about. I never invested in any of that stuff. I invested in me. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying your audience shouldn't. I'm just saying I didn't. I did 3 things successfully. I invested in myself, got myself as good as I could be, confident, clear-minded, no drugs, no drinking, no partying, nothing. When all my buddies were partying, dude, I was doing me. I was getting better at my business, and I was investing in real estate. If I can't see it, touch it, and if it don't cash flow, I don't buy it, period. I've left the stock market alone. I've missed millions of dollars of stock market, hundreds of millions, but I made $1 billion in real estate. So I can't be good at everything. So I got good at a few things. I got good at me. I got good at my business, and I got good at real estate.
Well, and you said one thing that's really important too. You focus on helping other people, right? And so here at Latino Wall Street, here at our headquarters, we have a bunch of your books. Your books are all around our office. And but if you notice something, Grant, the books are in Spanish. So you or somebody on your team had these books translated, and you're now able to impact 400 million people in Latin America that probably wouldn't be able to receive your message otherwise, right?
Right.
So my question to you is, you've accumulated a lot of wealth, a lot of success. What drives you to keep going? Now that you're not physically hungry, you're not broke anymore, what drives you to keep going to the next level?
People, man. I'm intrigued by people. I'm intrigued by your, how old are you?
35. Man,
I can extend my life through you, bro. Like if you look at my Instagram, Halloween night, I was in Golden Beach where I live, and I took my kids out trick-or-treating, just like the rest of you guys. I do the same shit you guys do. And I took my kids out to my little neighborhood to trick-or-treat. I'm driving the car, and they go two or three houses, and they jump in, and we go to the next place. 60 kids bomb my car. Is that Grant Cardone? They know me from TikTok, man, because I'm talking about money, and I'm talking about investing, and I'm talking about ethics, and I'm talking about communication, and I'm talking about the importance of confidence and doing the right thing and not wasting your money and being a stupid ass. And these kids are 10 and 12 years old, man. And they're running, Grant Cardone, we love you, we love you. I got bombed. 65 kids bombed my truck, man, chanting my name. And so when you can make a difference in people's lives, what happens is I can extend my life and my legacy through others. So the thing that intrigues me the most, the reason I do what I do, the reason I'm doing this interview today, the reason I did this non-accredited fund is because I got mine, man. Now, what I want to do is extend through others by making sure I can be a game changer. Look, again, I'm going to go back to the rigged system. This system is rigged. It's not enough to talk about it. You got to do something about it. So I created a vehicle where your audience that might only have $1,000 in a checking account, maybe they got 8,000, and they're like, I don't know what to do with this $8,000. It buys nothing. What does $8,000 buy? What does $1,000 buy? You can't even buy a Glock 26 is going to cost you a grand. You know, so like, what can you get for $1,000? You can't go to Disneyland for $1,000, man. But I can make you an investor in that property. So what happens is people end up giving up because they never invested up. And I'm giving people a chance. No bank has ever done this. None of the institutions do this. Real estate syndicators don't offer the little guy a chance at a trophy property like that. And so this is a way for me to extend myself beyond. Same reason we had those books translated to Spanish. Dude, the Spanish community, the Hispanic community is massive, very, very powerful. Okay, but super passionate, way more passionate than Americans are. Okay, but the problem is we're miseducated and we don't have the opportunities. So marginalized communities, Hispanic, Black community, very marginalized, lower white, middle class people, miseducated. The education process is 12 years. So slow, dude. By the time you're out, you're freaking tired. It's exhausting. And I experienced all that. And had I started with that kind of investment when I was 23, 24, 25, maybe I wouldn't have gone awry. I'd have something to protect. And so our goal is to literally change the entire financial system, disrupt the financial system, put Wall Street on warning and say, hey, we're going to look out for the little guy because you didn't. We're going to include the little guy because you guys didn't. All you do is keep making white people richer, your buddies and the entitled wealthier and wealthier. You know, white people, I'm a white guy, bro. White people don't even know what white entitlement means. We don't. Until I start listening to other groups. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I get a loan when you don't. I get to see an asset that you never get to see. And I want to open this up to everybody, man, and be a name for change.
I love that. That's incredible. So let's circle back to the fun and how it works. If people get in, right? Let's say someone invests $100,000 today, or 10,000. 10,000 is more reasonable, right? A lot of people out there probably have 10,000 or more in a savings account. They get into this deal. The deal starts to cash flow. They start getting dividends, right? And then what's the exit strategy?
So what happens is, let's say Elmer, good white name. Elmer.
No, how about Enrique?
Enrique invests $10,000.
Right,
okay, good. He gets a $10,000 position in that asset at the same cost basis that I went in at. There's no middleman fees, no broker, no banker. So if you call your Merrill Lynch guy and he calls me, I'm not dealing with him. I deal straight with Enrique. Okay. He puts $10,000 in, he signs the paperwork, puts $10,000 in. He's going to get a check on that property every quarter. Every quarter, I'm going to send him a check. It should be about, my target is 6% a year. Now, 6% a year may not seem like a lot to people, but that's cash flow for us to wait for the appreciation. Okay, so this is just a reward as you wait for the property values to go up. At the bank right now, Enrique doesn't understand this, but right now, $10,000 at Bank of America, your friends over at Bank of America, that you know no one at Bank of America, pays you $12 a year. $12 on 10 grand. And they probably charge you $75 to set up the account, $37 for checks, and they bang you every time you use the ATM machine. Not to mention that $10,000 is going down in value. It's probably worth 40% less than it was a year ago because they printed so much of this shit. And the only thing that makes $10,000 look good is pesos. Okay, or wands or whatever else. The American currency is being destroyed right now. Purposely being destroyed, by the way. So the cash flow alone is 50 times your bank account, number one. Number two, you cannot lose this money. The money can't be burnt, can't be destroyed, and can't be lost. What do I mean? This building is 456 units, sits on about 4 acres of land, sits on the water. It's completely insured. You can't burn that building down. It's 456 units. The rent's $2,300. In 10 years, those rents will probably be $5,000. With inflation, they could be more than that. We got New York and New Jersey flooding in here thinking 2,300 is cheap. Because where they left, they were paying $5,000, $6,000, still didn't get
for a studio.
Still didn't get a swimming pool, didn't get a brand new building. They probably got a 1970 built building with no view looking into another building, and they were paying $5,000. So this is a great deal for them. We got positive migration into Fort Lauderdale. This deal should end up being a double on your money. 10 grand should become 20 grand is the goal. But the bigger goal is 10 grand. You get your 10 grand back at the 5, 6 year, 7 year mark, and you still own the asset, and your kids, your trust, your family continues to get a quarterly distribution for as long as we own the property.
And this is going to protect against that massive inflation that we were talking about earlier, right? All this money printing.
If hyperinflation comes, Jack Dorsey, the guy that owns Twitter, said, Matt, hyperinflation is on its way, and it will be a world changer, I think is what he said. The world will change. If hyperinflation is coming, this property could be worth $1 billion in the future, which means you would have a 12x return on your 10,000.
That's incredible. Well, Grant, I want to thank you again so much for your time. I want to thank you for being on the show. I got one last question, a question that I ask everyone that comes on, and that's, what does disrupt mean to you?
What I'm doing means change, baby. Put the old guard on notice. We coming, boys. I'm going to take the everyday. You know how many everyday people are in this country? Most. We're the most dangerous country on planet Earth. But you guys gotta quit feeding the beast. You guys keep feeding the people that marginalize your communities. The people that are freaking literally raping and pillaging your community are the very people you put your money with. They take everything. And you guys keep putting your money there, man. I don't understand it. Like, you got to wake up. Disruption means I wake up. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, I'm giving Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citibank. What's some other banks?
JP Morgan, Wells Fargo.
Chase. I said Chase. I'm feeding the white machine. I'm a white guy. I see what's going on. Okay? Because there's this many white people benefiting from this. I wasn't included in that group of people. I'm a big mouth. I use social media. I'm a disruptor myself. I tell the truth. Disruption does not mean you screw people. You can't disrupt and screw people. You got to do the right thing. Otherwise, people are going to call you out and say you're a scam. 35 years I've been in business. There's people that don't like me. There's people that are going to see your interview that don't like my energy, my confidence, my swag. But nobody can say I ever ripped them off. So I don't lose money ever. You want to disrupt? Don't lose. You want to disrupt? You got to win. You want to disrupt? You got to invest in things that work. You want to change things for your community? You cannot be a spender and a saver. You must become an investor. You got to quit being a gambler. Casinos are built on the backs of little people. They're threatened by the whales that walk in. They're like, oh, hey, man, the whale's coming in from China. Okay, be cool. Why do you think they got limit on tables? Because they're worried about whales. Okay, they're not worried about the little guy. The little guy is what makes wealthy people wealthier, because little guys think little, do little, and refuse to disrupt. CardoneCapital.com, man. Get your people invested with me, okay? I'm going to get them some cash flow, and I'm going to get them some appreciation.
If people want to learn more, that's the place to do it, Cardone Capital?
CardoneCapital.com. It's click. Send your 1,000, 2,500, 10,000. I promise you I'm going to take care of it.
Incredible. Grant, thank you so much for your time, my friend. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you soon. Boom. That's a wrap.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Grant. I really appreciate your time, my friend.